Okay, so I'm sorry I didn't get a favorite film February video out to you guys last week, but hey, what can I say? I was busy with all those Valentine's Day activities. No, I wasn't. Cut to the intro. So last week I tackled The Dark Knight, one of my favorite superhero films of all time, by far. So I wanted to do a different genre this week. So it's going to be drama. And the film I picked, and again, unless you did not look at the video title, is Shawshank Redemption. That is the film I'm talking about today, and man, it is great. So where do I begin? Let's start with the story. So, The Shawshank Redemption is a 1994 film based off a novel by Stephen King. It begins with our main character, Andy Dufresne, who's played by Tim Robbins, and as he is wrongfully accused, or so he says, of a murder of both his wife and her secret lover. So, he is to spend 2 life sentences in Shawshank Penitentiary, one for each of his victims. So this is where he meets Morgan Freeman's character, Red. And this is definitely the strongest point of the film, the relationship between Andy and Red. Man, one of the best of all time. Morgan Freeman's lines, Tim Robbins' lines, they're unbelievable and unforgettable. Lines like, get busy living, get busy dying, stuff like that. That's what makes The Shawshank Redemption such a great film. It's not really a prison film as much as it is a drama of a story of 2 friends over a long period of time, because this movie takes place over a long period of time. You see some of the hardships or darker parts of prison life, but also at the same time you get to meet all these great characters and watch as they bond and grow together over so many years. So that is definitely the highlight of Shawshank Redemption. So I kind of talked about how the characters fuel this story, and they definitely do. While it's not a bad story, it's very interesting. It wouldn't have been half as entertaining or intriguing had the characters not have been as memorable and amazing as they are. This is widely considered to be one of the, if not the best films of all time, and I completely agree with that because the characters drive this film to success. Red, Andy, all these characters you get to know and love are just, they're emotionally driven. You get to learn. You feel like you're a prisoner put in Shawshank Redemption, just watching these people react. And there was a great quote by Roger Ebert. This is one of those movies that makes you forget that you're watching a movie. You just are completely sucked in, and it's just a wonderful film. Definitely a great one to check out. So the music is also a great factor in this film. It's done by, I believe his name's Thomas Newman is the composer of the music, and man, it is great. One of my favorite bits of the soundtrack is played towards the end of the film at such an emotional part, actually the very end of the film, and it just leaves such an emotional impact on you because it's timed perfectly. The piano medley, just everything about this soundtrack is great. One of my favorite movie soundtracks ever put on the film. It's a great, well-composed soundtrack. Thomas Newman, I believe, has still not won an Oscar. He's done some great films like Finding Nemo, Road to Perdition, this one, and plenty of others. It's still a mystery to me how he hasn't won an Oscar for any of these, because he's a great composer. So this was kind of a quicker review, but I mean, there's not too much to say about Shawshank Redemption without me just giving you the whole movie. This is definitely a film you need to watch for yourself. You got to go out and check it because it's a great film. Like I said, widely considered one of the greatest of all time, and for good reason too. Shawshank Redemption is awesome. Okay, so since I screwed up last week, I'm actually going to be doing 2 reviews this week instead of 1. I feel like this has happened before. Oh well.